Will you become the man that you needed so you can give him away?
Depression can make it feel impossible for dads to get through simple things in every day-to-day life. It can make it feel impossible to work out, to pursue your dreams, to just be closer to your wife and your kids and be more present at home. But what if what we thought was depression was just shame? And what if this shame was something that we'd been putting on ourselves? In part one of this 3-part series, we talked about isolation, how isolation is the number one indicator that a man is going to end up in severe depression or suicide. That when he refuses to talk and to open up and to be vulnerable and to seek the right help, that he is cursing himself to long-term suffering or suicide. Today, we're going to talk about how the way that a father lives can be an indicator of his life turning out in mental and emotional anguish or greatness and longevity and passion and impact. I came from a horrible home. I had family members when I was young who had tried to smother me in my sleep. I had been starved. I had horrible things done to me, and I have done horrible things to people. When I was 7 years old, I realized that if I could just die, that this pain would stop. So I became suicidal at the age of 7, and I carried that ideation with me until I was 16. That was the night I tried to cut my wrists. And that ended up with me giving my life to Jesus and realizing that I can find a way through this darkness and teach that way to somebody else, that they were counting on me to do that. I got married. I became a father. Life was great. I was a leader in the community. I was a leader in the church. We were happy. We had a good life. And then all of a sudden, I ended up in what I refer to as 7 years of hell in my book. This was clinical depression and what professionals told me should have been diagnosed as bipolar disorder. Every single day for 7 years, extreme highs, extreme lows, mood swings, depression, suicidal ideation. And I had already been a believer in self-improvement, self-development. I had already been a believer that I could find a purpose in the pain that would help me and help others. And so I started to analyze these cycles that I would go through when things they weren't too bad and they would just get really bad. And what I realized when I started to analyze what I was going through was that 100% of the time before the depression and the shame and the self-hatred, before it got worse, every single time I would either do something that I should not have been doing or I would not do something that I should have. And then the extreme darkness and crappy feelings and thoughts would follow. For instance, I believe the family was important. I believed that my family mattered. But I would, instead of being home with my wife and my babies, I would just go hang out with my friends or spend longer hours in the church working with other people. And that made me feel ashamed of myself. I believed that men should be strong, but then I would skip workouts for a week at a time. That made me ashamed of myself. I believed that pain had a purpose and that I could find that purpose and use it to help somebody else. But there were times where I would just feel sorry for myself. I would take it out on my wife. I would blame God. And all of these things just made me feel ashamed of myself. But on the flip side, when I put my family first and I spent time at home instead of going out, when I focused on my wife and my kids first, I felt joy, peace, and fulfillment. I wasn't ashamed. When I worked out, even when I didn't want to, I felt confident, powerful, and in control, even while I was depressed. When I found the lesson in my struggles and I would use that to help myself and to help somebody else, I found purpose, I found value, I found joy. These things just fed the fire inside of me for self-development, for self-improvement. And I realized that I had to act every single day, no matter what, like the man that I said I believed I could be. That I had to do every day things that reflected what I said I wanted, and I had to purge from my life the things that did not serve that purpose. When I got my actions right, my life changed. But not just my life, my wife and my children changed. Our marriage got better. Our sex got better. My kids respected me because they want to. My wife respected me because she wanted to, which made me feel better. I didn't feel ashamed from those things at all. I felt great. And I was still depressed. Like I said, that depression lasted for 7 years. I was still struggling every single day with hating myself, with suicidal thoughts, with awful things inside. But despite what I was battling on the inside, I grew closer to my family. I became a better leader at home. Our quality of life as a family had skyrocketed. I was making better money. So it was like I became bulletproof. Even though I was still depressed, even though I still struggled with hating myself, the way that I was living every day protected me because it no longer affected me. All of this dark crap, it had nowhere else to stick. It couldn't get in that deep anymore. Because I stopped letting it dictate my behavior. I stopped letting it dictate my attitude and my choices. And because I got serious about doing things that reflected what I said I believed and what I wanted. When I realized this pattern that, again, 100% of the time, before everything got worse, I was either doing something that I would regret or not doing something I should. When I realized that pattern, it broke my heart. This whole time, I thought that I was just depressed. I thought that I just hated myself. I thought it was just the abuse that I went through. I thought it was just something from my parents. I thought that I was just hopeless and nothing was ever going to change. But the truth is that I was opening doors in my heart and my mind for me to feel depressed, to feel awful, and to be in a lowly place. I was opening the door because I was not acting like the man that I said I wanted to be. I was acting like a different man completely. I had the whole thing backwards, and so do you. You keep waiting to feel better to act like a man that you say you want to be. You keep waiting for these feelings to go away, for you to do something about your dreams, for you to do something about your attitude. The minute this storm comes in, you're allowing it to dictate your choices, your behaviors, your mindset. You think you're hopeless. You think you're lacking confidence. You're down on yourself because you're depressed. But brother, listen, it's not your depression holding you back. It's you holding you back because you are allowing what you're feeling to keep you from living like the man that you know you can be. Now, when it comes to depression and fatherhood, there are two hallmarks. It's these hallmarks that keep us from passion and intimacy at home. It's these hallmarks of depression that keep us from growing and changing and helping other people. And there's shame and hopelessness. Shame from hating myself, from feeling like a failure, from feeling like I ruin everything and I'm never going to change. And hopelessness from feeling like nothing that I'm going through has any purpose at all. There's no point to any of this. Hopelessness because I feel like I'm not worth anything. I don't do anything good for anybody. But these hallmarks, they're not just some ethereal thing. They're not just some emotional thing. They have a scientific and a psychological reason that they're happening. When you are not doing what you should, right? You know you're supposed to work out. You know you're supposed to sit down and study. You know you're supposed to do something about this dream that you have, and you're not doing it. Your conscience knows that you're full of crap. Your heart knows that you aren't following through, that you're going to just give up again, and you can't be confident because of that. It's the same way, like, if I don't go to work, I cannot be confident that I'm going to get paid. When I'm not acting like the man that I say I want to be, I can't be confident because I know that I don't have what it takes. I don't have anything to base my confidence off of. You've proven to yourself that you're not going to be the man that you have the potential to be, and you are feeling ashamed and hopeless because of it. Your inner man knows you're full of crap. And that's, you guys, this is where it comes from for us. The shame is serious, and it's something that we've been putting on ourselves this entire time. It's not some just weird emotional thing or some broken part of us. It's something that we are doing to ourselves. And this hopelessness is the same thing. Hope is the byproduct of character and time. When I apply strong moral values day in and day out, whether it's boring or stressful or hard, and I do that over long periods of time, my character gets better, my mind gets better, my heart gets better. But the longer I put off my dreams, the longer I put off my goals, the longer I neglect my health, the longer I neglect my time and my family, I don't have anything to hope for because I haven't invested in anything. It's the same as the confidence. I can't be confident because I haven't given myself a reason to be confident. There's the two hallmarks, shame and hopelessness. But the doors, like I said, that this is a door we're opening up to ourselves. This is something that we are inviting in, right? And we do this in two ways, through inaction and misaction. We are bringing hopelessness into our lives through inaction and misaction. We are bringing shame into our lives through inaction and misaction. It is through inaction and misaction that I am making myself depressed or making my depression worse. So let's talk about inaction real quick. Inaction is just not taking action. It's not doing what I know I should be doing, specifically around what I say I want or I say I believe. Like my examples I gave earlier, I believed that family was important, but I spent time with my friends or other people instead. So yeah, I was ashamed, and that messed with my hope. It messed with my confidence. It messed with my mental health. Men have a need to be strong and capable. When I'm not doing things to prove that I am strong and that people can depend on me, my confidence goes out the window. And that's all from inaction. That's just from me not doing the things that I should do as the man that I say I want to believe or want to be or believe that I am. Men have an innate need to be valuable. When we're not doing things that are providing value to ourselves and therefore value to those around us, we don't have a sense of value because we haven't created it. Instead of acting like the main character in your life, you're acting like a spectator, like someone who has no say in the outcome of the story. But you can change the story. You're just not doing it. And again, listen, that is where our depression, our shame, our hopelessness, that's where it's coming from. And then there's misaction. Misaction is regret. It's doing the wrong things. So we have on one hand not doing the right things, and we have on the other hand doing the wrong things. Misaction. Regret is powerful. Regret is one of the best friends that you will ever have in your life. When you regret something, like, hey, I regretted the way that I talked to my wife. Okay, how did I talk to my wife? I should not talk to her that way anymore, and that's going to eliminate regret. And guess what? When regret goes out the window, so does shame. As men, we are supposed to have noble pride in ourselves. Like, there's this whole distortion of what humility really is. Humility is not being small. Humility is not being less than. If I know that I'm a great freaking father and I say that I'm a great freaking father, that's the truth. That's actually being humble. And I should be proud of that because I've proven to myself what I will do for my family over and over and over again. And I can see it in the way that my children behave and they think and how they choose to live their little lives based on my influence. And I'm proud of that. Men, we're supposed to have noble pride. We are supposed to be men that we are inspired by, that we admire. But when we're not living in a way that we respect, that we admire, we can't have that. Then all that's left is shame and regret and hopelessness and depression. So I need to ask you, like, how proud are you of yourself? Really? How proud are you of your self-talk? Are you proud of your discipline and the habits that you keep? Are you proud of your sleep habits on going to bed on time and getting up on time? Are you proud of the way that you handle stress? Are you proud of your fitness level? Are you proud of your body, the way that you look naked? Are you proud of the way that you spend your time, or are you ashamed because of how much time you waste? Are you proud of the quality of life that you have at home with how close you are with your wife and your kids, how much they adore you and want to be with you, and how you guys have such a great relationship? Or are you ashamed of these things? Are you embarrassed at the way you talk about yourself? Are you embarrassed at the way that you can't stay disciplined for anything? These are questions that we need to answer truthfully and honestly. This is the road forward for healing. This is the road forward for overcoming depression, for being a better leader at home, making a difference in our families. And look at that list again: your self-talk, your discipline, your sleep habits, handling stress, your fitness, your body, how you spend your time, your quality of life at home. These are all things that you control. These are not things that will happen to you whether you want them to or not. These are things that only you control. Until and unless you live as the man who can truly be proud of himself, you will continue to bleed hope, to bleed confidence, and to bleed purpose. As long as you continue to live as a man that you don't respect or admire, you will be depressed. You will struggle to have hope. You will struggle to have purpose. You will struggle to be confident. And your family will pay the price. What we need to do is generate power, right? Again, these are things that we can control. We can control inaction. I don't have to put off my dreams. I don't have to ignore my responsibilities. I don't have to neglect my fitness and my health. Okay, I don't have to keep doing things that I regret. I can stop doing those things. You're powerful. I am powerful. We can change. However much we want to change, we can change. So we need to talk about now how to generate power. How do we actually do this? Because we can be men that we admire, and our mental health can have victory because of that. There are 3 things that you need to do. These are staples in my life. These are things that I've done for more than 20 years. These are things that when I see men do these things, their lives are better. Whether they feel depressed or not, their relationships are better, their finances are better, their profession is better, their kids are better, their wife is better, everything is better. These 3 things. The first one is HIIT workouts, HIIT, high intensity interval training. They're fast, high volume, intense workouts. They can be with a little bit of weight or body weight. I love these workouts because for me, when I first started doing these things, I realized that not wanting to do the workout or feeling tired or feeling exhausted and feeling like I can't breathe, it felt the same as my hopelessness. It felt the same as my self-hatred. As your heart rate and your breathing increase, your mind will vent all of the crap that you've been holding on to. There's a scientific and a psychological reason for this too. Listen, your self-doubt, your depression, your self-hatred, your hopelessness, they use the same radio frequency as hope, power, confidence, and control. They operate on the same channel. A solid HIIT workout will smoke you, but it leaves you feeling accomplished. It leaves you feeling powerful and capable. You're using your body to push yourself through discomfort and pain. And this is a skill that translates into mental health the same way that I can use my mind to push my body through discomfort. I can use my mind to push my decisions through depression or through fear or through self-doubt or anything. It translates. So number 1, high intensity interval training. If you guys need help looking any of that up or figuring out what to do, message me. I'll send you workouts. I've got a whole list that I could put together for you. No problem. So number 1 is HIIT workouts. Number 2 is take action. What is the dream that you've been putting off? What is that thing that you know that you need to be doing right now? Is it the conversation with your wife? Is it not staying up so late? Is it giving up alcohol? Is it actually going to the gym the way that you know you need to? All of these things. In fact, actually, let's do this. Let's take the gym part out of there because you should be going to the gym anyway. That's something that you need to do. We're going to keep that in there. So we're going to ignore that. You should already be doing that. And if you're not, you need to start. But this next one, taking action. What have you been putting off because you're scared or you don't think that you can? The thing that you know that you've been ignoring, you need to go do. This is going to help you give yourself something to believe in, and it's going to prove to your doubt, to your fear, to your self-hatred that you're the boss, that you're in control. Take action. Number 3, listen to regret. Take the time to be honest about the things that you're regretting and start to cut them out. And I want to make this easy for you. So I'm going to give you a little exercise I've been doing for myself for a very long time. It's very effective. You need to grab a pen and a pencil. Once you have your pen and your pencil, I'm going to make a statement, and you need to write down the first thing that comes to mind. Are you ready? Brother, you need to knock it off. What is that thing? What is the thing I'm talking about? Write it down and start there. Stop doing that thing. And you will begin to remove regret and shame from your life and increase your mental and your emotional health. Hit workouts. Just take action. What is the thing that you say you want? Go do something about it. What is the thing that you say you believe? Go do something about it. And then number 3, listen to regret. That thing that you know you need to stop doing it. And listen, dads, I know so many of us struggle with our mental health. So many of us came from broken homes. We didn't get what we should have got from a father. But we have to be the difference for our children. We have got to be the ones who are going to break this cycle of generational pain and make a new change, a new direction for our families to go so that our kids can impact their kids. By you being the man that you admire and that you respect, you can impact your unborn grandchildren right now. And when you start to live this way, how much more difficult is it for you going to be depressed? How much harder is it going to be for you to doubt yourself? When you can look at your life and you have a mountain of evidence inside your home where it matters the most that you are a man who keeps his promises, you are a man who does the right thing. You're going to feel better about yourself. Your wife is going to feel better about you. Your kids are going to feel better about you. People are going to be like, dude, what are you doing? Can you help me? And you're going to be able to help somebody else. You can walk in this freedom right now. Even if you feel depressed, even if you feel hopeless, that doesn't have to stop you. Prove to yourself that your life is worth living by doing something about what you say you want and not doing the crap that you regret any longer. And listen, men, fathers, brothers, if you couple this with talking to other men, with being vulnerable and getting help from other men, you are going to find victory. This will break. You will change and your family will change because of you. Your life is worth living. So live a life worth living.